I'm Anna Welly, Ayurveda practitioner and yoga health coach. And today's video is about alleviating anxiety, stress, and overwhelm through the power of Ayurveda and a yoga lifestyle. Recently, I surveyed a few hundred people on my newsletter list, and a lot of people responded by saying that they have problems with stress, anxiety, and feeling overwhelmed. And honestly, I can truly relate to this. I used to struggle really badly with having these issues myself. And in that sense, too, I have so much to share to help you overcome it, as I have alleviated all of my symptoms of feeling anxious, feeling stressed out, and feeling having intense feelings of just overwhelm. And so what I'd like to do in this video is really walk you through an inquiry process into understanding your own experience of anxiety and stress, first and foremost, and then helping you intuitively walk through what that healing experience might be for you, and then talk briefly about a few solutions. So if you have a piece of paper and a pen handy, I encourage you to kind of write down, jot, and journal, or even draw what comes through for you as I walk you through the process. And so the first part is truly understanding what the imbalance is like for you. And this is the way that Ayurveda works. You're a unique person. You're a very unique individual. So how imbalances show up for you is going to be different compared to your friend or me or somebody else. And from that place, then, we can fine-tune what the solution is for you to overcome whatever health issues you have. So the first part to look at is, how does anxiety or stress or the feeling of overwhelm show up for you in your life? How do you feel it in your body? How do you feel it in your mind or emotions? How might it affect you spiritually or energetically? So go ahead and write down what that's like for you, what your experience of anxiety, stress, or overwhelm is. And some things you might want to consider is, what does it feel like in your physicality, in your physical essence? Do you feel really ungrounded or flighty? Do you feel restless? Do you have this sense of your energy moving upward? Do you feel tightness in your chest? Or do you feel heart palpitations? Do you feel like a really quick, rapid heartbeat? Do you feel like your chest wants to explode? Do you feel butterflies in your stomach? Do you have a loss of appetite? Do you get the urge to eat a ton of food? Do you get stressed out and you want to have sweets or dessert, or crunchy things, or salty things, or ice cream, or cheese, or dairy? Do you have a sense of heat or anger? Or is there a feeling of restriction or tension? Or do you hold it maybe like in your shoulders or your neck? Or does your back kind of cramp up? Do you get constipated? Or do you get anxious and do you get diarrhea? Anything that happens for you, go ahead and write it out and just kind of really clarify what your symptoms are like. Even inabilities to fall asleep at night. Or maybe you fall asleep because you're really, really tired and you feel exhausted, but you wake up in the middle of the night and you can't go back to sleep, or you feel restless in your bed. And also, your dreams are a way that energetically and spiritually, mentally and emotionally, anxiety and overwhelm can speak to you. So if you perhaps have a lot of dreams about flying or trying to escape or running away, or maybe even that you want to do something but you can't physically move your body, and that feels like really overwhelming or something like that, maybe drowning, maybe overcoming with water or things like that, whatever is there for you, go ahead and write it down. And so as you get more clear into what your specific, unique symptoms are like, you can understand more the nature of what's going on in the imbalance. Next thing that we want to look at is, what makes the anxiety, stress, or feelings of overwhelm worse? So what are you already clear on that maybe triggers or increases these senses of anxiety? And go ahead and write that down. So it could be things like just overbooking yourself, having too full of a schedule, or expecting too much from yourself, or having a sense of feeling that others expect a lot of things from you. It could be a lack of sleep. It could be a lack of exercise, or a lack of time outside or in nature, or a lack of sense of joy or time for fun, relaxation. It could be social anxiety. It might be related to travel, um, planes, flying, things like that. Whatever is there for you, whatever you are certain that makes your anxiety increase. For me, I know that I used to drink, and after a night of having a couple of drinks, the next day, my anxiety would skyrocket. I would feel a lot of mental instability and a lot of just mental chatter and a lot of projecting into the future. So whatever that's for you, maybe if you have coffee or caffeine, maybe you feel like there's a lot more kind of mental stress happening, or you feel a little bit more grounded, a little more jittery, a little bit more anxious. Um, Not skipping meals could make you feel anxious. Eating too late, eating too heavy, maybe having like a um, too late of a night, anything like that, anything that makes your anxiety worse that you're sure could be directly linked to it, or maybe you're just interested of like maybe there is a connection. I'm not totally sure, but maybe if you're feeling into that there could be a link, go ahead and write that down, jot that in your notes. And now I want you to explore what you already know makes your anxiety, your anxiousness, your stress, or your feelings of overwhelm better. What helps to alleviate these feelings? And if you're already keen on a couple of things that you know help, write them down. So that could be exercise, um, going out into nature, going for walks, going swimming, being amongst good company. Maybe there's a couple of people in particular that really help your sense of anxiety alleviate. Maybe it's someone with a very kind of grounding, nurturing sense, or someone that you feel really seen by. It could be touch. It could be getting a massage. Maybe just getting a hug from someone, holding someone's hand. It could be getting a good night's rest, maybe taking a break and having just checking out for a weekend or going on a week-long vacation or something like that really helps release and overcome the anxiety. Eating good food. Whatever it is for you, go ahead and jot down all of those things that come to mind that you are already certain that help support you in alleviating your stress and anxiety. And even write down some things that you might be curious. You're not sure if it's directly related, but you'd be curious to explore it more and kind of experiment with that. Maybe the idea of massage. You're like, I don't really get a massage that often, but I have a feeling that would lower my anxiety. Go ahead and just write down things you're curious about exploring more. And so once you have that list down, then I want you to feel into what it's like, what your life would be like, and what it would feel like to be free from the anxiety, stress, and overwhelm. So what does it feel like in your body, in the physical sense? What does it feel like in your energy field? What does it feel like in your mind, in your emotions? How does it feel in your heart? And how does it feel on a more soul level to be free from the stress, anxiety, and overwhelm? And go ahead and write down all of those things or draw a picture, whatever's there for you. So it could be like, I feel calm. I feel stable. I feel a sense of security. How does that security feel? It's like maybe you feel more dropped into your body. Maybe you feel more connected to your root chakra. Maybe you feel more connected into your legs and your feet, and they feel connected into the earth, and you feel pulled down into the ground. Or maybe it's a sense of safety, a sense of trust, and a sense of surrender into the unknown with a sense that things are going to be okay. Maybe you feel lit up. Maybe you feel confident. Maybe you feel bright and cheery. Maybe you feel energetic. Maybe you feel a sense of fearlessness. Whatever it is, just write down for you and try to feel into it in this present moment, get that visceral sense of what it would feel like to be free from the anxiety and stress and how that would show up for you. And with that sense, with that feeling, go ahead and write down how that would impact your life. How might your life change with this problem or symptoms disappearing from your life? How might that affect you? What would you do otherwise in your daily life? What would you do differently in, say, a week's time or a month's time? And then if that rippled out even more, how might it change for you a year from now or 5 years from now? Maybe you'd feel more of that sense of confidence and fearlessness to do things that otherwise you're holding yourself back. Maybe you would just be able to go about your daily life with a greater sense of ease and grace and fluidity. Maybe you would have healthier relationships. Maybe those around you would have a sense of better connection towards you. Whatever it is, go ahead and write down all the ways that your life would be impacted on a daily, weekly, regular basis, or rippled out into the future of how your life might change. Go ahead and write that down. And with that kind of feeling sense of like this anxiety is being freed from your body, your mind, and your emotions, how does that show up in your daily life, in your daily rhythm? In this sense, when you are free from this, these symptoms or this experience, and you're living in alignment with this place of greater health and wellness, centered and deeply rooted in the essence and the truth of who you are, how might that change your daily rhythm? How might your morning be? What might your morning routine look like? How might you wake up in the day and start your day and step into your day? And then how might that ripple out into the rest of your day? And then as your day unwinds and you close down work for the evening, what might your evening look like when you're in alignment with this and this new sense of who you are as it's shifted this essence of the way you experience life? And then what might your evening look like, your evening ritual, your evening routines? What might you enjoy more in the evenings in the sense of being aligned with someone that's free from anxiety and stress and overwhelm? And how might you go to sleep at night? Does this involve any specific rituals for you? Does it involve a new way of being? Do you just go to bed earlier and really just drift off into a deep, heavy sleep more easily? Go ahead and write down whatever is present for you. So as you might kind of notice, these simple health issues can really be tied into a lot of who we are, into our identity, and through that, how we live our life. In the Ayurveda sense, anxiety, stress, and overwhelm is directly linked to Vata Dosha. And Vata Dosha is the energy of space and air. Space and air are really light and mobile. They govern movement, all movement within the body. And Vata is very much like the wind. It has a lot of variability to it. It comes and goes. It can be really strong. It could be a light breeze. It's very unpredictable for the most part. And this way that Vata moves in the body, and it governs and impacts the nervous system and the movement with everything in the body, the movement of our nerve impulses, our nervous system, our sensory responses. We know through ancient practices of Ayurveda how to support that Vata into a strengthening of the Vata, a way of buffering out the nervous system, of supporting and nurturing and really nourishing the nervous system, and regulating it into a steadiness, an easefulness, a groundedness, a sense of connectivity, of fluidity, of strength, which leads towards Vata in its heightened place of joy. Joy and enthusiasm and a really great expansiveness for love is Vata when it's in a balanced state. And so that is very possible for you, for anyone struggling with anxiety, stress, and overwhelm, to really heal and bring that into a place of balance and then expand into the positive attributes of Vata in your body, your mind, and your emotions. And one of the ways that we know that this happens is through regularity and creating a really strong system of structure that really grounds and contains Vata in the sense of a nurturing kind of container. And the way that shows up for us is through dinacharya, which is a daily rhythm. And so this daily rhythm is essentially just a kind of a schedule that holds Vata in place, that helps the nervous system to relax. And dinacharya can be fine-tuned through the process of Ayurveda through the morning routine and rituals of when you wake up, what you do when you wake up, having time to sit in silence, having time to do a little bit of body nourishment, maybe of stretching or yoga or going for a walk, and then being deeply nourished through a nutrient-dense breakfast. So if you've already downloaded my ebook, Essential Morning Routines and Rituals, you're totally familiar with this. If you haven't gotten that ebook, let me know and I'll send it to you. But it's really just giving out the kind of the essential things to step into the day to feel more grounded and centered. And then having your meals at the same time every day, and having that as a really set standard to help ground Vata down and really also help the digestive system to have a strong, healthy, nurtured digestive system, which also impacts how Vata is showing up in the mind and emotions. And then slowing down in the evening and having a really nurturing, nourishing, yummy, relaxing, restorative evening process just as the sun is winding down and things close off for the day and going to sleep early. And these are some basic essentials of just getting that deep, nourishing rest early in the evening, and quite a few other things that can be woven in through the process of dinacharya. But I'm just giving you a snippet to avoid making this video 2 hours long. But so that's one of the essential practices, is really refining the daily schedule and making it as regular as possible. The more wild or erratic or random that your life is, the more that you want to attune to this of really bringing things in and creating this rhythmic drum beat that holds and contains Vata in its centered space. And the more that you travel, and the more that you also, especially if you fly in planes and things like that, the same thing, the more you need to create this similarity and regularity for each and every day. The more you want each day to look just like the other. The next step I have for you is to get in a daily practice of meditation and pranayama, and really anchoring it down into your daily rhythm and routine to alleviate that sense of stress and overwhelm. And also by working with the breath, which is pranayama, is a breath control process, you're impacting your nervous system on a direct way. So just spending 5 to 10 minutes in meditation and pranayama, doing a little bit of breath work, can have a lasting effect, immediate effect on your stress and overwhelm, but then also a lasting effect that will happen throughout the rest of the day. And the more that you do it and the more that you work with it, it'll have even a greater effect that will ripple out and compound over time. And so with that, there's quite a few specific pranayama breathing practices that you can use to help with the anxiety and overwhelm, and specific meditation practices. So if you want any of those tips, let me know. We can expand into greater detail. And then my last kind of tip for you, just giving a really brief summary of how we can work with this anxiety and overwhelm, is to do a daily abhyanga, a daily self-massage. And what that looks like is using a really beautiful, rich oil, such as coconut oil, sesame oil, jojoba, olive oil, something like that, and rubbing that oil into your skin on a regular daily basis. And what that does, number one, is your body's going to absorb and pull that oil into the skin. Whatever you put on your skin, your body's going to absorb. So by using oil, you're pulling that into all the different layers of your skin and your tissues, and you're pulling that into your nervous system. And so that oil is going to buffer out and strengthen the nervous system. And then secondly, by massaging your skin, you're massaging those endings of your nerves. So essentially, you're using that nurturing touch of your hand to really massage the nervous system and to soothe it and strengthen it and bring it into a place of feeling grounded and contained in your body. And that's just a really brief synopsis of 3 simple examples that we can do to help with overcoming anxiety and overwhelm. What I'd like to go deeper into is also how the digestive system, how the health of your gut impacts your mental health. And this is so huge. It's so huge. And so that's going to come up in video number 2 of healing the gut and having a healthy gut through the practice of Ayurveda. And we're going to explore the ways that you can tell the state of your gut by looking at your tongue, by looking at your digestive system and your digestive type, and then by also looking at your poop and what your poop is showing you. So that's coming up in video number 2. But if you want to go deeper into these solutions of overcoming and alleviating anxiety, stress, and overwhelm, I would love for you to schedule a 15-minute session with me to talk, and we can discuss how I might be able to help you. And you can ask any questions that you have about what it'd be like to work with me by using Ayurveda and yoga health coaching to go way deeper into this and finding real lasting solutions so you can go back into that place of what your life would look like as you overcome stress, anxiety, and overwhelm, how it would impact your day-to-day living, how it would impact you on a week-to-week basis, how you would feel in your body, your mind, and emotions to move to the other side of this. And I'm here to help you walk through that. I'm here to support you with that through my own experience and my professional training. So to do that, to schedule a 15-minute time to talk, I'll post a link either below or above this video, whichever way, and I hope to connect with you. Thanks, and I'll talk to you soon.